MCC All Stars has passed, and I think we can all agree that BattleBox was one of the most interesting games of the event, filled with upsets, triumphs, and of course, getting wooled.
I got it!
So let's take this opportunity to take a deeper look at what exactly happened in BattleBox. And because some of these teams were lopsided in their matchups, and I don't want this video to be clips of teams being out PvP'd, we're going to be looking at the top 4 teams and how their strategies matched up against each other. Those teams being the Lime Llamas, the Cyan Coyotes, the Purple Pandas, and of course, the Blue Bats. This is an old school team, so it only makes sense that they stick to an old strategy, send in one person to put pressure on the wool, and have the others on the floor attacking and bowing, mainly focusing on kills. Many viewers attribute a lot of their success to Kratzy. He racked up 19 kills, tying Quig's all-time BattleBox kill record from MCC 10. Dave was an absolute brawler this time around, but you can't forget the reason he got all those clean fights, being Michael McChill's rush to mid. What seemed to be an outdated strategy ended up unlocking Dave's full potential on the floor. By having someone push mid, it alerts the opposing team of a potential wool rush, forcing them to push more towards the wool, and once they bite, it's all over. Because of its elevated nature, taking that trek to the middle or up the ladders opens them up for bow shots from Kara and allows easy cleanups by Kratzy and Burren. In addition, this team had a very efficient use of the kit items provided. Kratzy was obviously able to pile up damage with a stone sword, Michael was able to use the extra leaves in getting to mid, Kara's punch bow knocked enemies onto the floor many times for Dave to clean, and Burren used his potions to great effect, getting his full money's worth nearly every round. This was a very safe strategy, Michael's initial rush protecting against wool rush attempts, while still contributing to supporting kills. Their only defeats were to superior PvP rosters, and of course, the infamous Blue Bats Leaf Rush. This led them to a 6 of 9 record, a real team effort unleashing Kratzy to a first place individual placement in BattleBox. The next team's strategy, the Lime Llamas, is all about taking their time. They send SB and Illumina up to retrieve the damage potions and utilize the high ground to collapse onto the opposing team, with Fit and Sylvie hanging back to support, almost disregarding the wool objective. Illumina has proved time and again that he is one of the best BattleBox players in MCC, and this time is no different, placing 4th individually in points. But Finster deserves just as much of the credit. The two combined for 11 and 9 kills respectively, Finn 1 kill away from making top 5 himself. The spread out nature of the team's positioning makes it hard to engage in close combat without being tagged, allowing Illumina to dictate the flow of the battle against a team already weakened with arrows, and wherever Illumina was dropped, Finn was there to pick it back up in the clutch. Their kit usage, however, wasn't anything special. Illumina obviously used a stone sword to great effect, but Sylvie's potions were not the most efficient. SB and Illumina combined for 8 total possessions of the instant damage potion and managed to do about 1.5 hearts of damage between them. Regardless of their kit efficiency, their damage efficiency was enough to get them kills. Unfortunately for them, kills aren't everything. Their strategy was geared towards kills, so it's no surprise that 2 of their losses were to aggressive wool rushers. Ultimately, this squad got 6 out of 9 rounds and finished 4th overall in the game.
Finn almost did better than me.
The Coyote strategy was very similar to that of the Llamas. Puns would normally push up a corner, while the 3 ladies would hang back, supporting with arrows and rushing in given the opportunity. Puns put on a show, having 13 kills, second only to Kratzy. He was highly efficient with a bow and a sword, but as Finn was to Illumina, Jojo was to Puns. Jojo was a sniper from the back, getting a few kills with her bow alone, with Blushy and Puffy slowly whittling away at their opponent's health. This was by all means a bow-first team. They were not looking to engage unless it was advantageous to do so, and when it ended up coming down to it, Jojo and Puns were more than enough to finish the job. One difference between Cyan and Lime was that their kit utilization was much better. Puns was far more efficient with his damage potion, and Puffy definitely won them a few games with their health pots. But this wasn't able to stop them from sharing the same weakness as Lime. They similarly lost to 2 wool rushes from Blue and Orange. All in all, the Coyotes had a great run, being the most dominant team in terms of PvP, getting 3rd overall.
I got 2nd.
Nice.
Let's go.
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The infamous Leaf Rush strat of the Blue Bats was definitely the talk of the Reddit, and for good reason. While the previous 3 teams focused on kills and engaging the enemy, the Bats were having none of that, rushing wool nearly every single time to great success. They used the flashy and unique ability of Fruit Berries to get control of the middle in under 4 seconds, and assemble a leaf barrier that stopped anyone's attempt to hinder their wool rush. Fruit Berries was obviously key to this strategy, but the well well-oiled machine that we know as the Blue Bats were the reason that it was so dominant. False and Ren have had a lot of experience in the Wool Rush and played their roles perfectly, as well as H, who either acted as a crucial distraction or gatekeeper to the wool. A careful combination of picking fights and pure wool rushing was the reason this team was able to place first. Because of their rush to mid, they had the added benefit of forcing their opponents to confront them, and were easy pickings to either knock off or crit while distracted with the wool. The items, in all honesty, were not that important to their success. Fruit did well with the stone sword, getting many easy kills in the scramble for mid. H's potions reset any potential bow shots, and extra leaves were a nice touch. This performance for the Ages net Blue first place with 8 out of 9 round wins.
I could be wrong.
Like, we just wooled everyone.
Now that we've gone over the team's strengths and weaknesses, let's see how they stack up against each other. This is an example of how powerful establishing yourself at mid can be. Michael will take a position in the middle and draw the attention of 2 coyotes, leaving Puns in a 1v2 with no backup. A weakened Cyan is forced onto the floor, worried about the potential rush, which allows Burn and Kratzy to clean them up for a clean victory over a superior PvP team.
Let's fucking go, guys.
For whatever reason, the only time Michael decides to play more conservative was the only time they were facing a wool rush. Completely uncontested, Fruit establishes the Leaf Fortress and, with the high ground, is able to systematically take out the rest of the pandas as they scramble to get to the wool.
Nice. Did we get them all?
Yep, good job.
This is another perfect beeline to mid by Fruitberries, as Lime prepares to go in and stop the wool effort, this time as more of a unit. They end up applying enough pressure to halt the wool, but H-Bomb acts as a perfect distraction, luring 3 llamas away from the wool. Illumina is left for dead, and Blue is able to complete the objective.
Nice, good job.
Nice.
Michael reaches the wool once again, but Lime is smart about it this time, only sending Sylvie to contest him. This allows Kratzy and Burren to shred her while on the floor, but Lime's positioning splits Purple's focus enough for Finn to weaken Kara and Michael enough, while still maintaining his health. Now 2v2 health-wise, Sylvie does a great maneuver to separate Burren and Kratzy, so Lime's Battlebox duo can divide and conquer what's left of Purple.
Nice.
Starting off with a few exchanged bow shots, Cyan's offensive conductor, Puns, made his way to the right platform, while Limes decided to play extra conservatively. This decision was punished, and Puns' attack pushed all of Lime into one corner, being pincered by both arrow shots and incoming ground forces. A clean sweep.
Nice. Is that all of them?
That's all.
Nice.
Out of all the teams, Cyan probably had one of the best shots at stopping Blue's Leaf Rush, with most of their team collapsing upon middle fairly quickly. The initial completion was thwarted by Puns, and further halted by Jojo. The position was potentially favorable for Cyan, but would never be resolved, and a misfire from Jojo allowed the Blue Bats to complete their rush.
I broke the wrong block.
Now, to wrap things up, here's a final look at everyone's rounds and their matchups. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into BattleBox, and if you'd like to see us analyze strategy like this in the future, remember to drop a like and subscribe so we know to keep doing this type of content. Till next time, thanks for watching.